my name is Tara Kachaturoff, and I'm the host of Michigan Entrepreneur, where we feature businesses from startup to stellar. Today I have as my special guest, Tom Borg of Tom Borg Consulting. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, Tara.
Well, I'm really excited to have you on the program. We've had you on in the past to delve into all topics that relate to business, and today we're going to delve into another one. And today we're going to be talking about how to turbocharge your marketing. But before we jump into that very big topic, why don't you tell me a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Sure. Well, I'm a business consultant. I work with a lot of small businesses and some mid-sized businesses as well. And we help them in the area of acquiring and retaining the right kind of clients. That's essentially what we do.
Yeah, and you know, that is that's the bread and butter of any company, is the clients.
You bet.
And I can tell that you're really good at what you do because you've helped us retain quite a number of people on this show. You've actually referred some amazing people. Some are clients, some are just people that you have met along the way, and we want to thank you for everything you've done for Michigan Entrepreneur.
Most welcome.
Really appreciate it. Well, you are a master of marketing. We've talked about marketing topics in the past, and today we're going to talk about how to turbocharge and take charge of your marketing. So if we had to start at the very beginning with marketing, where would we start?
Well, first off, we have to understand what marketing is. And what marketing is it's finding, attracting, selling, and keeping enough of the right kind of clients to maintain an increasingly profitable business. See, too often what a small business owner will do is they won't have a plan. They just figure they're going to throw up a sign and people just pour into their store, or they'll come to their website, however they think they're going to attract this business. But that's not how it works in life. And that's probably why a good 90% of the businesses go out of business in the first 5 years. It's not that they have the wrong product, it's just that they don't have a plan. They don't have a real concept of how they're going to reach out and really bring in this business that they need to get.
So when it comes to a plan, what exactly does that look like? And I know it can take many forms, and then we have right brain people, left brain people, people who like to put things on paper, people who like to keep it in their brain. What does a plan look like, or what can it potentially look like?
Well, first off, marketing is a confusing thing for a lot of people. They don't understand whether is it marketing, advertising, or are they two separate things? Or well, think of it this way: marketing is like your hand, and on your hand you have 5 fingers. Well, there's a lot more fingers to marketing than just 5. But things like public relations, promotions, advertising, branding yourself. There's a number of things you could be doing to market your organization. So the first step, I think most small business owners or mid-sized companies need to start looking at or re-looking at, because yes, we do need to update what we're doing because things change. You know, we have to change with those times. So the first thing I like to work with all my clients is we use something called an action board. Now, I didn't invent this idea. It came from Dr. David Viscott. He's written a number of books out there like Risking and a number of other ones. But in the meantime, his concept, I just took it and transposed it a little bit for the small business owners or a mid-sized business, where think about a wall. You have a blank wall, and at the top of the wall you have 5 columns. Say you take a 3x5 card sized Post-it note, and on each column you'd have a certain heading. So the first heading on the far left would be possible project ideas. Second column that we'd have, just to the right of that, would be projects accepted. To the next column we'd have projects being worked on this month. Next column over, projects being worked on this week. And finally, projects being worked on today. So you have 5 headings at the top of your board. Now,
can these be internal and client related?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. With my clients, they can use it for a number of things, like marketing, or they can use it for maybe they have a project that maybe they're looking at purchasing some trucks. Okay. So let's take that as an example. You know, we really need to get some new trucks. It's a possible project idea. So they fill that up on the board. Well, eventually they get to the point where they decide, you know what, we've got to make an investment in these trucks. So they move that card over to the next column. It's another Post-it note. And that's the column that, okay, we're going to do this. This project is accepted. So they start gathering information, doing whatever. Then it finally comes to the point where, okay, this month we've got it in the budget. We're going to get out there and we're going to purchase some trucks. So that's where it's moved at that point. Then finally it gets to the point where, okay, this week we're going to make an appointment to go down and look at some trucks and that sort of thing. So that Post-it note for that particular topic is moved over to that column, which is this week. And then finally, it gets to the point where they look at the board. Okay, today's the day we're going to go over there, and they take that card, put it over on the next column. So here's what that does more than anything else. It gives people a chance to have a very visible reminder of what it is they're working on. Now let's say it gets to the point where, okay, we're going to work on it today, and okay, well guess what, the truck guy is not in or something, so what do? Put that card back into the 1 week column, this week column, and as a result, it's still there, it's a reminder to do it, but they just have to wait till the time slot is right.
Well, one thing I like about that is the visual component,
Yes.
because often we write business plans and they're in binders and then they are closed up and put away, and then we don't have to see that. But having this action board, as you call it, like in front of us or in a place where all the employees can see it, it really keeps things top of mind.
Exactly. Until that's what I told my clients, do not put it in a closet,
Right.
okay? Do not put it behind a door that you can't see, but put it right in front of your desk. I have some clients, it's on a whole wall. They use the entire wall. I have other clients that have used it where they have a section and they made they took a piece of construction paper and they used that. But regardless, however they use it, it's a way to remind them of what they need to do on a regular basis to get some regular results.
And it's just so easy to put it away and forget it. It's just
Yes.
too easy, because we all do that.
Exactly.
We all do that. But those visual reminders, it almost is like, in a way, not guilting you, but there is a little sense of like, it's something staring back at you.
Exactly.
So you better do something about it.
That's right.
So when it comes to planning, people like to do different things, and certainly the action board is one way to do it. How should people go about doing this? Should they sit down and try to plan out the next 12 months, or should they just attack it 1 quarter at a time? What's the best way, or does it really differ depending on the person and the industry and whatever they're doing? I mean, a lot of people want to do short term. I mean, we can't even think of 5-year plans anymore. It's just 5 years would be, the whole world would be different.
Right. Well, that leads us to another tool, and this one comes from J. Conrad Levinson, the great late J. Conrad Levinson, who had the guerrilla marketing series of books. And one of the things he suggests is that you use a 12-month marketing calendar. So this is what I use with all my clients as well. We come up with a 12-month marketing calendar. You get a 12-month calendar, okay, that's what you want to have, and you list all the things you're going to be using for marketing over the next 12 months. So maybe it's one item might be, well, we're going to do a 2-for-1 sale, okay? And you pick a certain week that you're going to do that, say in February, whatever. Okay, then you might do, okay, we're going to do another tool, another way they could market it would be, let's say we're going to have we're going to donate so much money for every sale we make this week. So that's a form of marketing. It's kind of a good feeling type form of marketing. But that's another tool or another event they can put on that calendar. There could be other things like they may be doing something like, we're going to donate this money or we're going to donate one of our products to the auction for the Chamber of Commerce. So that's another form of marketing. Maybe another week they'll be doing an advertising piece that'll be on the radio, or another time it might be on the web, or however. But the idea is to list all these ideas or all these strategies to market your business and put them on the calendar. That's the key, because otherwise, guess what? They don't get done.
Exactly.
And if it's in front of you, you can say, okay, well that means we've got to start getting this prepared, and this is going to have to be done before we get that started. Just a great tool to keep people on track.
And there's what's a good thing to do for an entrepreneur? They do the marketing calendar, and then they just don't get it done. What's a great way for them to keep themselves held accountable when it can't be self-generated?
That is probably the biggest challenge for every entrepreneur that's out there. Why? Because I think they're like a juggler. They're juggling so many things. They wear this hat, they wear that hat. So it's kind of hard to focus when you're juggling 12 balls in the air. So one of the things I find that works the best is to have someone that's going to hold that person accountable. In many cases, I'm the one that comes in and holds that person accountable. Maybe they have a business partner that could hold them accountable. Or hey, how about this? They're part of a mastermind group where they could have people that they meet with on a regular basis, maybe once a month, once every other week, and they then come up with some ideas that they're going to work on, they promise to work on. Okay, well then the rest of their members will hold them accountable. They'll want to hear what happened, the results, when they come back to meet the next time.
Yeah, I love that whole idea of a mastermind group, because once you say it publicly or in a private public situation, you're going to probably get it done.
That's right.
And there's really an energy that you create around it, which I think is really beneficial. Let's talk a little bit about some other things that you can do, like how about going to your clients, going to your customers, and using them as a way to help you generate ideas, marketing ideas that you can use that will not only serve them but serve your greater community. How can you involve your current clients or clientele to help you market your own business?
Great question. And usually when people say that's a great question, it's because they know the answer. So that's what I do in this case. Well, here's the thing. What I tell all of my clients, create focus groups. Go to your customers or clients and invite them to come in where you can hear from them firsthand what they like about your business. What are some things that you could improve about your business? Now, here's the secret to a good focus group. You'll be there at the beginning. You'll introduce the concept of what you're doing, and you're glad that they're all there. But you have an outsider facilitate the focus group, because why? They're not going to tell you the truth if you're sitting right there. They're not going to say things that they might hurt your feelings. So you introduce the program, you leave. You come back at the end. But then what happens is you have that person who facilitates ask these questions and not say anything. Don't try to influence the answers. So simply take notes, or what I usually do is I just record the session. That way we can get all the information, get all the feedback. It's amazing what you can learn when you just simply ask a question and let the people talk. And then do something about those questions, or do something about those suggestions they make. Nothing worse than to have all these suggestions come in and change nothing, and the customers feel they've wasted their time.
Yeah, I was actually in one for Walsh College, where it was quite extensive for several hours, and it was so fascinating to see. I'd been on several other kinds of focus groups, but for product related, literally products. But this one was for Walsh College and their branding initiative.
Smart.
And it was very interesting. They brought in alumni from all different levels, current students, and an outside, obviously, facilitator. And we went through a lot of things. I see that they didn't implement some of the things I told them about, but that I thought were a little serious. But maybe next time when I come back to another focus group, we can talk about those.
That's great.
But it was really well done, and so important. And it really said a lot about the institution. And it will also say, I think, communicate a lot about your company if you're willing to open yourself up and be vulnerable that way.
That says a lot about Walsh College. I mean, that's progressive thinking. Most times universities and colleges are a little more on the conservative side, and they don't participate in things like that. But I'm glad
it was about 2-3 hours. And then they gave us a little goodie bag of great stuff at the end. I didn't even know that. That was great. That was an added benefit. But it was
something you want to do, is reward them for coming.
Yeah, it was. I wanted to do it because I love Walsh College, and I taught there and also got a degree there. And I really felt honored to be a part of that. And I think, that same thing can happen for your clients and customers.
Absolutely. That's the way to do it. Again, I tell my clients, communicate. Communicate with your customers and clients. Why? Because they have the answers. You don't have to be as smart as you think you have to be. Just listen. You don't have to be a mind reader.
Although it would make life a lot easier if we all were.
Yeah.
There's something that I was reading through our prep notes, and something about the Ben Franklin Platinum idea and how you can use that to make your business more profitable. How does that relate to marketing, and how can it increase your bottom line?
Well, what Ben Franklin used to say, and by the way, did you know that he was one of the first millionaires in this country?
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, that was back in the day.
That's a lot of money back then.
Oh yeah, incredible amount of money.
I wonder what that's worth nowadays.
Imagine that.
$33 million.
Well, he started in printing, and he was an inventor. He was a scientist, politician, statesman, all these things. But yes, he made over $1 million in his lifetime back then. But one of the things he said is, take 10% of the money that you make from your business right off the top and invest it back in the business, and part of that back into your own self-development. So if you have employees, obviously back into your employees' self-development. But that was his rule of helping a business owner really grow their business.
And so what are some things that you see people doing besides, obviously buying themselves classes or training? What are some innovative things you've seen people do in terms of that 10% off the top?
Well, I think one of the things they do is invest in equipment. They invest in programs. I like to encourage my clients to create libraries, learning libraries for their employees. So you set up a room and you purchase either videos or DVDs or CDs or download books, brochures, anything that you can get that's going to help your employees do a better job. Now, maybe brochures, maybe from some of your suppliers that they have products. So this way you can have more product knowledge available to your employees who are promoting it or supporting it. But the key there is to, someone once said, Well, I think it was Ben Franklin. He said the same thing. So if you take the coins of your change purse and empty them into your head, your change purse will never be empty. So
Well
what he was
said.
saying is you invest in your mind, it's going to grow, and as it grows, so will your bottom line. So will your bottom line grow. So the key here is that I think business owners need to remind themselves they need to invest back into their employees, back into their businesses, so that they can grow and become a better organization. I have one client right now, they're getting ready to do, every 7 years they do this. It's a golf and banquet center. What they're going to do is they're going to completely redo all their banquet facilities, floors, walls, ceilings, equipment. They want to do this because it keeps them current and it looks nice and people appreciate a nice environment. So that's part of their plan for investing back into the business.
And you know, for the small businesses that just have a few employees or contractors, I think it says a lot when you invest in education. You can't depend on your employees or contractors to go out and get their own education on the internet or on YouTube. I mean, you really need to make sure everybody's singing from the same hymnal and
That's right.
make sure everybody's got consistent training. Even if it's 1 hour a month that you all get together and have some sort of educational little seminar.
Yes.
Within your company, or bring some outside speaker in. There's lots of great people around Michigan that would love to come to speak, even for low fee or free, to introduce themselves to your company. So
well,
resources
here's
are
the
out
thing
there.
about that that's very interesting, the point you brought up there. The fact is that some people believe, some business owners believe, well, if I invest in my employees, gosh, they'll become worth more and they'll probably go work someplace else. Well, yeah, that's possible, and sometimes that does happen. But what would you rather have? Would you have someone who works there who's not very educated, and you're paying them to stay there? See, and we've heard that before. But the point is, it's well taken. If you want your company to grow, you've got to invest in your people, and by doing that, it will grow your bottom line.
That's the best marketing there is.
Yes, sir. There you go.
Your clients or your employees. I
Yes.
mean, they're out there every day spreading the word about your company, either complaining to people that they don't like working there. I mean, that's a horrible thing. Or saying, great, I love my job, I love what I do. I mean, so yeah, it works both ways. I'd like to talk a little bit about what are a couple marketing blunders that companies make and what would be the solution? And I know there's not like 1-minute solutions to business blunders when it comes to marketing, but what's one marketing blunder that you see quite often? And what's
just
the
one?
solution?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go through more if we have time.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was meeting with a business a while back, and they have a presence on the internet. They're a furniture company. They have a presence on the internet, and they wanted to expand in the city they were in and actually have a more of a geographic reach in terms of the local community, the cities around it. So the reason they were doing this is because they were losing market share on the web, because there's a lot of people on the web that are selling similar products. So they have this nice showroom, and it's in a city where you can't really get to it too easily, so it's not the easiest place to find. In any event, so they went out and they hired 3 new salespeople, and they've got this nice showroom and everything. And I walked in there, and they're showing me around and everything, and they're talking about this new approach that they're going to use to really get people to come into their store physically. So I looked at the business cards they just had made up. Very nice cards, very thick, and very classy looking. And I'm looking at the card, I turn it over, I'm like, no address. Okay, they have a website. Well, that's wonderful, but how about a physical address? You're just telling me that your strategy is to get people into this physical location. What are you doing? People say, well, they're probably going to go to the website and look them up first. Most people do. 93% of the people will go to a website and look you up.
And then write down the address,
well,
because that's easy.
Well, the point is that that's one more step you're making your customer take. Why would you do that? Besides, if you have an employee or a salesperson and he has business cards or she has business cards, you hand them out, and they say, well, where's your store at? Go to the website, take a look. Doesn't make sense. So that's a blunder. You got to think about the whole picture when you're starting to promote your business, and look at all the holes you might have in your strategy, and then fix them.
I've seen that very problem. It's so annoying to me. It's so annoying.
Yeah. And
or they are missing a phone number.
A phone number.
Something as simple as that.
I believe it.
Like they have a website and an email address and no phone number.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, I prefer email over phoning any day. I want a phone number when I need one.
Well, the other thing too on websites, and we can talk about that for another hour, is when you go to a website, is it easy to follow? Is it, where is the phone number? Sometimes you have to dig for it. Some websites, they don't have it on there. And what they're indicating is they don't want you to call them. Okay,
Right.
fine. Associations are a lot like that.
Another thing I've seen actually with many small businesses, they've got a picture of the person. Nowhere on the site is the name of the person.
Wow.
There's no about, or if there's an about, they start it with I or she or he.
Yeah.
No name.
Yes.
Something that simple. I still see tons of sites today.
Oh, yeah.
All these years later, no name.
Yeah. Those
It's
people need
the
to get some
oddest
professional
thing.
assistance. That's what they need.
Unbelievable. And I've looked at some of these people. I mean, they have web companies that have done the design. I'm like, there's no,
Really?
you don't know who the person is. Like if you called them, they'll have a phone number maybe. You wouldn't even know what to call them.
Yes.
Because I just see your picture. I want to
You're
talk
right.
to a blonde-haired lady.
See, then we're talking about very specific things that a company can do or not do, and it can cause some problems for them. And it's not a mystery what makes a business successful. It's a lot of little things done consistently right, and that's part of the mix. Is your website or your business card, simple things.
One thing like that, I'll never go back. I have too many other choices.
Sure.
We didn't have the choices 10 years ago.
That's right.
And we would maybe try really hard to connect with somebody despite or in spite of all the issues to try to connect with them. But nowadays, next, we
That's
just go to
right.
the next one. Not because we don't like the situation or we're upset about it. It's just, I don't have time. Nobody
right.
has time.
People like the shortest route to whatever it is they're going to purchase. And as
Absolutely.
past least resistance, I guess, is what we're saying. You bet.
What's another blunder?
Another blunder I've seen is,
Maybe service businesses.
let me give you an example. Innova Business, it's a home remodeling company, and they had a great business going for the longest time. And then one day the office manager decided to take a different position someplace else. The owner was upset about that because the guy was very successful. And so the man left, and so the owner promoted somebody from within. He was not the right person to run that office. Failed miserably, ended up firing. So what did he do? He promoted another person from the inside. He didn't know what he was doing, had to get rid of him. Then he brought someone in from the outside who wasn't qualified, so he didn't ask the right questions. He didn't do a great job really defining what the job was all about for this person, and just was hoping the guy could do it. He didn't work out. Well, in the meantime, between I think the first and the second person he had in there that had replaced the guy that had left called back and said, you know what, I don't really like where I'm working. It's too big, and I really liked what I was doing with you. I'd like to come back. Now, the owner's ego got in the way and said, no, I'll never have you back here again. You were whatever. Well, guess what? That was a big mistake. He should have brought him back. I mean, he was making all kinds of money for the company, and he had seen the error of his ways. He decided to reach out and decided it wasn't for him. Sometimes those are the most loyal people you can
Right.
get. When they come back, they're really wanting to stay with your company. So that was a huge blunder, and unfortunately, he went into the red, and it's the last I heard of him.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, not good.
Wow.
Not good.
Yeah, and all those resources you already put into that person, and they had time to really think about the value,
Yes, so we got to get our ego out of the way is what I'm saying. Sometimes that can, like I was telling one of my clients the other day, you can be right or you can be profitable. What do you want to be? Truthfully. See, so it's not rocket science here.
You need to actually put together a book just of those sayings that you have. They're great. And I know we just have a couple minutes left, but I did want to point out one book in particular that you have written that we've talked about in the past, but it's called Making Service Count. And this is an amazing book, and I'm not just saying that. I've read through it actually several times, and it's just a great book to read like annually, to stories about dealing with people, especially for service businesses, but really for anybody, how to deal with people. These are great stories, all from your dealing with your clients over the years.
Yes.
And it is just such a great book. And if you're looking for something to give somebody who has a business, get them this book, Making Service Count by Tom Borg, and they can find it on your site at tomborg.com.
Consulting, absolutely.
Consulting.
Thank you.
It really is a great book, and of course we've talked about that whole service thing. So you got to be doing marketing so you even have something to provide service through.
Absolutely.
Right?
Once you get them in, you
doing.
got to keep them.
I know we have about a minute left, and before we close things up, I do want to ask you real quick, should you do your marketing yourself or should you delegate it? I know that's a tough one, and it's not an easy question to answer.
Well, it depends on how large your business is. Sometimes a business is so small, they can't afford to bring in somebody from the outside. That's when you need to be educated, educate yourself, or get a consultant to at least help you along. You get to the point where you do need to bring in a marketing person, someone that's going to specifically focus their energies on that. Yes, that would be a good investment of a payroll that you're going to be putting aside. So it depends on the situation, but certainly if whatever you're using isn't working, get some help.
Sounds good. All right, so our very last question we'd love to ask you, although we'd love to talk to you more about marketing, is what's your advice to entrepreneurs? You are one, you deal with them every single day all around Michigan. What's your advice?
I would suggest that they always be looking to skate where the puck is going to be. That's a great Wayne Gretzky quote. That's why he was so successful. But with businesses, don't get stuck in what you're doing with your clients now. Be looking down the road, anticipate their needs, question them. Be always looking to develop your business to the next level, and you won't suffer as so many businesses do when they run out of clients and they run out of money.
Skate to where the puck is.
Yes.
All right, sounds good. If it's good enough for Wayne, it's good enough for me, right?
Yes.
All right, thank you so much, Tom Borg at Tom Borg Consulting.
Thank you.
If you'd like more information about our program, please visit us at www.michiganentrepreneurtv.com. Please join me again in the future when I interview another enterprising entrepreneur. Until then, wishing you the best of business.